Look, we is live. I think we are. Hold on. Yeah, we are. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing out there? I'm Vernon Kid here, back again. Your alpha is here for the first installment of Open Mic for the month of October. It is October 13th, 2019. Your boy had a pretty good week last week. This week, last week. Had a good time at New York Comic-Con. Went for 2 days. Enjoyed it. You should go watch the video of me talking about it. Had a lot of fun. The cosplay interviews I did. Spent some good time with my good friend Gail Simone. That was always fun to do. Picked up a few things for some friends. I gotta get some boxes to pack those and send them out. I might show them off to you guys just so you can see. But yeah, man, had a good time. Cosplayed as Spidey, my hero. I had a lot of fun with that, guys. You have no idea what it was like to have a little kid run up to you and hug you and be like, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, and I love you, Spider-Man, and me just being in character, giving a fist bump and taking pictures. As Clayton Thomas would say, it's all about the kids. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Won't be my last time cosplaying, of course, but as 2019 is coming to an end, it's all about now gearing up and try to plan out which conventions I want to go to in 2020. New York Comic-Con is always gonna be there. It's like that's a convention. I'm just like, I'm gonna go there regardless. But as you guys know, if you probably don't know, I have a bucket list, a list of conventions I want to get to at least once in my lifetime that are not on the East Coast or in New York State. I have already started to been able to check that bucket list. The first one I was able to check off my pack was Orlando, MegaCon Orlando. I was able to check that off my bucket list. Got that checked off. I would love to go back to Orlando. I enjoyed being down there. I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun times. Hell, y'all can go watch that adventure I had. The only problem I don't like about rewatching that is just the amount of footage I lost. And losing it, I lost a lot of great cosplay interviews. That really kind of bothered me, and I tried to recover it, but I couldn't. But yeah, man, like I'm already trying to plan out, 2020 conventions. People are asking me, if I want to go, am I going to go to the Anime Con that's in what?
Be careful, because apparently a lot of people thought that you were dying about that bucket.
About the what?
About the bucket. People thought you were dying or had some terminal illness because you posted about my bucket list.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. People thought I was dying. Like I got only legs. So, but anyway, like I said, yeah. And people ask me, are you going to go to WinterCon? Am I going to go to Anime New York? That's also going to be at the Javits Center. No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to, save up for 2020. But I do have 2 conventions already that I want to plan in May. I'll tell you about those later before we end this. But yeah, man, I had a good time. I had a really good time. I was going to do this last Sunday, but then I changed my mind. I was like, no, I'll just wait. But yeah, man, this is It's pretty good. I had a fun time. Like I said, always have a good time at New York Comic Con. Always just being around my people and meeting and interacting with cosplayers and other fans like me. There were some great cosplayers there. I got to interview a couple of them, made friends with some of them. We keep in contact, on social media. Got to meet the Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors. Two members of the Warriors were really cool. But yeah, man, it was great. And like I said before, I got to spend a whole good amount of time with Gail and Scott. Um, they consider me family. I should change my name, hyphen my name from Christopher Lawrence Simone Bennett because they look at me as family. And like I said, it's always a pleasure to see Gail. She is one of the highlights of my life, and I love her very much. And she is one of my favorite writers that just happens to be female. I always put that. I never say, oh, my favorite female writer. So here I am, guys, to answer your questions. Give them to me. Let's see what you got. I'm ready. If you don't mind me, I'm going to be having a little snacky snack on the side. Um, Anybody want a peanut butter bar? I bought it from they're doing like a candy sale. My supervisor's daughter, I bought it from. Anyway, let's see who's in the comments section, shall we? And yeah, let's do it. Okay. So we have Sammy the Coward. Yeah, I know Sammy. He's a pack member that always says, man, you should have more subscribers than you have. And I told him before, I'm grateful for the subscribers I do have. We are still pushing to 10,000 pack members. And when that happens, I'm still thinking about if that happens, I may do like a raffle or something and give something away or something like that. We'll see. So Sammy the Coward is here. We have Bobby Clark. Yo, I love your shit. Thanks, bro. Oh, thank you. Bro, you're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Darth Primus is here, pack member. Rakai is here. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Can't complain. And Travis is here. Hey, Chris. Hey, Malcolm. Travis says hi. What's up? What's up? Oh, hey, bro. Thanks for doing what you do. Oh, thank you. I'm just me. This is just me. How did you like your Spider-Man costume? Fit great. Oh, sorry. It fit great. The only problem I had with it was, like I said, was at times I should have got the protective mask with it. There's like another mask, like it's like like it looks like a Jason mask, but in the shape of Spider-Man. And that's for like when you're breathing. So, and what happens sometimes is I had to take my mask off a lot of times because there are times I was damn near blind. I was like, okay, the steam from my breath was heating up the eyes, so I couldn't see. I mean, I bumped into a couple of people. I was like, okay. I was like, I gotta take this off real quick. So I had to wipe it down, and I should have got that. But other than that, it was great. It fit fine. It. I got in the Spidey positions when I need it. When people want to take pictures, I mean, you can see it online. Go to the channel. Like I'll probably leave it at the end of the vid too. Like all the pictures I took in costume. I took some great pictures. I'll talk about it as well. The first one I took in costume, because all this happened on Friday. New Dr. Doolittle. This is it. I don't want to see it though. Can you flip that, please? I don't want to see it. Yeah, I don't want to see it. All I know for sure is that it takes place in Victorian England. So Robert Downey's doing his English accent again, and he's got to find a cure for a young Queen Victoria. So it's a little different. I was talking to Malcolm. Sorry. But anyway, like I was saying, this I was in the main, like when you come into the Javits Center, there's like it's like a big corridor, and then you can go upstairs, you can go downstairs, and everywhere around. And when I came in Friday in costume, basically I ran to the bathroom to kind of get out of my clothes. My costume was right underneath my clothes, so I pulled everything off and put it on, and everybody saw me in the bathroom putting their head like, and this one of the guys, yo, Spidey, I was like, what's up? And that was the thing. So when I came out, next thing you know, I'm going back upstairs, and all of a sudden I'm fixing my mask because I can't see, and all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what the? I was like, and it's this little girl just grabbing my leg and hugging me and saying, "Hi, Spider-Man," and I'm like, hey, and I love you, Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then her father came over and we took a picture. He took a picture with my phone, and that's the photo you see me like that with the little girl. And after that, every other picture I took with little kids, I was like, could you take a picture? And then parents were just giving me like a dirty eye, like, so I'm like, oh, okay, But the costume fit well. It was fine. I definitely want to get more Spider-Man costumes because with Spider-Man, he has some of the greatest alternate costumes of any superheroes, even though he doesn't stay with them all the time. Look at every other hero you got. Spider-Man always has some of the coolest looking costumes, and they work so well. I wanted the Future Foundation, but it was sold out, so I couldn't get it. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'll talk more about Comic-Con if you guys want to know more. But it was fun. The costume fit fine. Have you ever heard of the new Inkai manga called Karate Baka Inkai? It's awesome. You should look into it. I will do that. Thank you. Let's see. Next up, my parents just got divorced. It's been tough though. I'm sorry to hear that, Bobby. I can't relate to that because my parents never got divorced. Malcolm and I, we lost our mother, so I can't relate to that. But what I can tell you is that the one thing that you should not take away is don't think it's your fault. Don't think it's your fault. Sometimes this happens, and doesn't stop your parents from loving you or things like that. But it's not your fault, so don't feel like it is. Let's see. Next up, why did you name yourself the Mount Vernon Kid? Oh, okay. Well, one, that's where I live. I live in Mount Vernon, New York. So I chose that name. It was just going to be. It was my Xbox gamer tag. See, my cousin lives in the Bronx, and the Bronx is one of the 5 boroughs of New York. I live right. I cross over. We're in the Bronx. Like we're right at the borderline between Westchester County and New York County. So we cross over the street. We're in the Bronx. He had a game. His gamer tag was the BX Kid, and so I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Now, a lot of people, when I tell people my age, Bobby, people don't believe it, or they're just like they give a different number. Like the oldest I've ever been called was 25. I've never been called anything older. So most people I still have kind of that baby face kid like look. I mean, if I told you my age, you probably wouldn't believe it. So I kind of went with that as well as the influence of my cousin, and so I just chose where I live, in New York, the state, the city's known as Mount Vernon. They call it a city, but it's like a town. It's only 4 square miles, but it has some of the greatest entertainers and entertainment that have come out of this town. And I just chose that name, so and it stuck, and that's how people know me, the Mount Vernon Kid. So when people see me at it was great to get recognized at MegaCon by people. Like they saw me, they're like, "Oh, Mount Vernon Kid!" Like they saw me, and I got to talk to a couple of people that
and they weren't planned.
They weren't planned. No,
like, hey, stay over here.
Yeah, stay over here
and get them.
No, this was not planned. I was just going around with my camera, just filming where I am, and all of a sudden somebody turn around, I hear somebody call my name. I'm like, oh, it's people who follow me. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So yeah, that's how I came up with the name. Dark Promise. What would you say if you ran into Tom Holland while wearing your Spider-Man costume? Ah man, if I ran into Tom Holland in Spider-Man, I mean, it's funny how you mentioned that. That'd be kind of. I'd just be like, yo, you do me proud. Like you do me as a fan, you do me proud. I have my respect for Tom Holland was already high, but now it has gone even higher for what he has done. In terms of, for all those who don't know, it was him who kind of influenced Bob Iger and people at Sony to make that new deal. He is the one. So for all those who are happy that Spidey's back in the MCU, thank young Mr. Holland. He did it. He took the effort and was like, look, he truly is Spider-Man. Give him that. I would love it. I'd be great. I mean, when I was in costume, I passed Dan Slott's booth plenty of times, and I stopped and I said, should I go over and say hi to him? And no, I'm not. No, I just I just didn't. I mean, I've met Dan Slott before, but I was just like,
I think they had met him when he was sick.
Yeah, we met him when he was sick. So, but no, I'll be fine with it. I would love to meet Tom Holland. I mean, he wasn't at New York Comic Con. Tom Hiddleston was there. Paul Rudd was there. They're in the signing area, and met the original Red Ranger, Jason. Was filming him and everything. It was cool.
Oh yeah, no problem. You filming us?
I don't even think he knew I was filming it. So but I
also wish you was filming when you met out with Greg Park.
Greg Park. Oh yeah, I met Greg. I talked to Greg Park. I talked to Greg Park.
No.
Yeah. No, not Greg Park. That was. I met Mr. Tomas. I met Peter again. I met him in costume again because he was in there Thursday. He stepped away, and I was, because whenever I go to come and Peter Tomase is there, he knows me now. Like he's like, hey, and when we talk and everything like that, and I said, so and I came up to his booth, and I was just in my Spider-Man costume, just looking at it, and he's like, hey, Spidey, and I said, and I took my mask off, and he was like, how you doing, Chris? It was just like, I was like, hey, Mr. T, how you doing? It was cool. But no, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Bobby says, you deserve more subscribers. I hear that all the time. I hear that enough. There are a lot of YouTubers. There's just a lot of YouTubers, and there's a lot of, and for me, I take what I can get. I'm not trying to, if I make over 20,000, that's great. Right now, the road to 10,000 is still going strong. I don't expect for me to get like what one of my favorite YouTubers, Dashi, has. I love Dashi, and yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and say I wouldn't love to have the kind of subscribers he has. Yeah, I would, but unfortunately, I don't. I take what I get. I appreciate what I have. There you go. Um, Phantom Wolves. I like that name. That's I like that name. That's dope. So first time he being here, I've I've met many wrestlers this past year. From Bret Hart, I met Bret Hart. He actually back in 1992, he gave me the famous glasses, Madison Square Garden, first row, and unfortunately, I can't prove it because my dad broke the glasses he stepped on.
True story.
True story. Let's see who else you've met. Y2J. Never met Chris Jericho. I loved it. Rollins, Orton. Wow, you met Randy Orton. Okay, etc. Which WWE superstar would you like to meet the most? AJ Styles. AJ Styles would definitely, because I've been following that man since TNA all the way. I watched enough of his New Japan career. Didn't watch all of it, but I watched enough. And to see him now in WWE and where he's going to end his career, what a career! I would love to meet. I would love to meet AJ Styles. I was this close of meeting Finn Balor last year at New York Comic Con, but his signing was complete. I couldn't get on it, but I would love to meet Finn. I would love to meet uh, just so many people. I love me. I still want to meet The Rock. I still want to meet Austin. I still, it's guys from the past, but I've met a fair share of wrestlers myself. So yeah, it's fun. Travis, do you feel like new media lies a lot? News media? Yeah, they don't give you the whole story.
They got, they gotta, they have their agenda.
Yeah, they have their agenda.
You also gotta put in consideration what side of the political spectrum they're on. So, if media was real media, it would just as they would say, when you are in school, it'll be the who, the when, the where, the why, and the how, and that's about it. Right. But then when you start adding, your agenda, then that's when it becomes, yeah.
Right.
Now, granted, there are some that just tell it straight up how they feel, but most news stuff is they have
mostly the big networks. They're not gonna tell everything. Definitely. All those are all those your comics behind you. Yeah. Still putting a lot of them in boxes. Yeah. So yeah, those are my comics. Yeah. This is a comment. This is basically a dedication since 10 years old collecting. And I got some gems in there, and I'm nowhere near like Method Man. He's another collector, and Meth talked about his collection, but yeah, these are all my comics right here. But I got to get some new stuff. I don't want to keep them in boxes. There's this place on this Instagram post that makes like shelves and things, and then you can stick them in there. And basically they hold about a certain amount. You put down a deposit and everything like that. So it's really cool. So yeah. But yeah, those are my books. Okay. How are you about Freddie Prinze Jr. outrage? He was trash talking Star Wars fans and cursing them out. I did not know that. I I don't know.
I don't know what's the story.
I mean, well, yeah. What? Give me some content of what he was saying. I know he's voicing a character or something in the cartoon or something like that, but I don't hate Freddie Prinze Jr. It's just it's, you know, he stay off the drugs, I guess. Uh, You know, he used to work for WWE, guys. Y'all know that, right? Star Wars fans are never happy. That's honestly the truth.
Every passionate
It's yeah, but Star Wars, Star Wars, it's that true. But Star Wars fans, they take it to another level, and it's just like, wait, what? Like you're ransacking an actress because of a character she played, and it was like, what was wrong with y'all? Like stuff like that. But yeah, and it's not passion. It's just like unnecessary anger.
Well, that passion turns into that.
Yeah. Travis, actor and actresses. Actor and actress who can't act. Are you asking me a question?
Yeah, that's actors.
I guess.
That you feel are not good actors, maybe. And they're not. I'm guessing they're not musicians. That this is their first time. You're just like, yeah, this is.
Well,
that's kind of harsh.
That is kind of harsh, you know, because I'm not an actor, so I can't really. But you know,
okay? Do you think it's somebody that ain't seen it? You're just like, man, their acting is just not good.
Oh, that's easy. Steven Seagal. That's easy. Yeah, Steven Seagal definitely. He's one.
You've heard of when he has to act instead.
Yeah, when he has to act, his first key role. What was it called? Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill.
No, is it Above the Law?
Above the Law. One of them is like you would think he didn't. It was like, God. But over time, it just got worse and worse and worse, and it really got worse in Machete. You can't tell me he was terrible in Machete.
No, I don't think necessarily. I think he was just mailing in because he got a good paycheck.
Whatever. Actresses, I'm not gonna go like obvious like Megan Fox or something like that. I mean, I don't care for her acting though, but I can tolerate her acting.
You know what? You say it as if she stood. When's the last time we heard her name? It's been a while.
Turtles. That's about it. I can think of.
Just feels so long ago.
I can't think of any because every actress I watch, they're good. I'm like, okay. That's hard. That's really hard. Moving on. My question I posted earlier are not showing up. Oh my God. Hold on. I got you. That's probably getting they're probably getting okay, let me see. Let me see. My question, can you Nifri Dano write them again? I think I should have some of my moderators in the chat, so they should be there. Let me see. Next question. Bobby Clark. I got to go, but thanks again, bro. Really appreciate it. Bye. Take care. Have you seen the new Onward trailer? That's that animation, that animated movie, right? No, I have not. No, I have not. Phantom Wolves. Yeah, I admit sometimes I was nervous to meet so many wrestlers, but a lot so far have been amazing. All nice and chill, especially RVD. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna. Malcolm met Tommy Dreamer, Christian, and DDP at New York Comic Con 2017. And they were cool. So yeah, you know, I could say for me, um, that whole saying of never meeting your heroes or your idols because they turn out to be not what you think they are. I can clearly say that is not the case, especially like I said with someone like Gail Simone, who like I wanted to meet. I had all these friends that have met her, and that was always like a little like man, like they met them, but when I met her, like she is the sweetest and coolest and just decent person you meet. Like she's just so down to earth. Her husband Scott is just so chill and so cool. So yeah, I kind of put that. It depends, but the problem with the one thing with Gail is simple is that though she is in the entertainment field or the comic industry, she doesn't look high above herself. She will always say straight up, I came from being a hairdresser to being one of the most sought out writers in the comic book industry. Now she has this big platform where she's working on scripts for movies and TV shows and she still stays humbled. Key word right there, humbled. And I think that's the problem sometimes with entertainment in general is you forget where you came from and you lose your humbleness and this changes you. It's true. But yeah, most of the time, yeah, they just cool down. Or RVD, I'm not shocked at because that man always just that's not a gimmick. He's just despite the he's just cool down to earth. Nymphrey says 2007, I met Mick Foley and Ron Simmons, and in 2018, I met Jimmy Snooker. Wow, and Christy Hemme. Oh wow, you met Jimmy Fly, Superfly. Rest in peace. Never met Superfly. I've seen him wrestle, but live, I've seen him wrestle live. I would love to meet Mick Foley. I would love. He's another one that just seems just cool.
Would like to sit down and talk.
I would love to have a mock interview with. Yeah, definitely a mock interview with him. And the first thing I would not bring up is so when you fell off that cage, it hurt. Nah. I talk about like so as a kid, like were you a funny kid, a shy kid, things like that. Just talk to him like person, like not.
All I know is that he was so dedicated to Christmas that he waited until Christmas was over to masturbate.
What the hell? Okay,
that was in his book.
Okay, oh yeah, that Malcolm does have his book. Galactus Girls, do you still have any retro video game consoles? I still have my Nintendo and Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and N64, and I still have a PS2. Yeah, who you think you're talking to, Eliza? Huh? You know who you're talking to? Of course I do. I got the original Xbox still over there. Malcolm just hooked up the Dreamcast in the living room because he bought a game, NBA Showtime. I still have my PS2. Malcolm still has his N64, his GameCube. Malcolm has a lot of the Nintendo. Last Nintendo system he got is the Wii. Don't have a Switch yet. I want to get a Switch. Got the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox over there. I do plan to like try to track down and get older consoles. Like I know they brought out the Sega Genesis Mini, which I want to get. That because that seems like they really took their time with this one. Like because a lot of people have said like those mini versions, like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and the PlayStation, especially the PlayStation, they say sucked because they only put like a handful of games on there that so yeah, but I do have a lot of retro games. I still have my NES too. I still got my Zabber and everything. That's the old school game when you had to blow it to you almost your head is light like to get it to work.
That thing does not work. The NES does not work.
It, Freddie Prinze was also in Scooby Doo. Yeah. He's Freddie.
Man, you sound like you don't like now. You don't
No,
like.
I'm not. I'm just saying. Like I don't know what he said. Did you see Dragon Ball DBZ's video for slashers he made about Dead by Daylight? Yeah, I saw it. I was the first person that watched it. So yeah, I've seen it.
What?
He talked about characters he would want in Dead by Daylight. Tyler.
Oh.
And he talked about Pumpkinhead and people like that. And then I told him he mentioned he thought the last person was Ash, and I told him, well, the last monster and people was the Demagogue and two characters from Stranger Things. So yeah, I told him that. Yeah, I seen it. Favorite B movie? Evil Dead. That's pretty much a B movie. Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. That's a B movie, but it's a good movie. B movie.
Like
Independent B movie, and even Bruce Campbell himself would admit it. Look, it's a B movie.
No, so with that, okay, so your favorite independent movie is Evil Dead?
It's one of them.
I don't know, for me, it's gotta be surprisingly how good it is. People don't think it is, but New Jack City is independent.
Yeah. New Jack City is the highest, but he said B movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would you count it as an
Yeah,
independent?
no, it's both. It's both. But New Jack City is the most highest rated independent movie.
You higher than Blair Witch?
I believe so.
Wasn't the first Blair Witch independent?
Yeah, that found footage. But yeah, Evil Dead definitely is one. Remember, Malcolm finally sat down and watched all three movies.
Yeah,
and
lead up to it
because it was leading up to the first season of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and Bruce Campbell has said that he is planning a new Evil Dead movie. I think it's.
I thought that was it. I thought he said
no. I think it's gonna be kind of like they remember that remake they did. Oh, so kind of like that. He's gonna. How much better is AEW than WWE right now? This is from Data. Okay, see, I figured this question would come up. I knew this was coming. Okay. As of right now, Malcolm and I have watched the first two episodes. But
just want to not sound like cherry. I just want to put this out there.
Right.
In terms of the main roster product, it is not that hard for any wrestling promotion to be better than the current main roster product. Just want to put that out there. It's not. There are a lot of promotions that don't even have to try to be better than the current product of the main roster of WWE. Just want to put that out there. It's not. It's not hard anymore.
It's not that hard.
It's
yeah.
Not.
Look. AEW is right now. Their first two episodes were really good. I'm not even gonna lie. They were really good. I like the presentation. It felt like old school, like Nitro. Like you see it influence. The presentation is there. The cameras is there. The camera shots I like. It's gonna take me to get used to these new these wrestlers because I've never seen or a lot of them besides the ones that are former WWE or something like that. There's some that I'm just not really feeling like last week they had what was that dude named that I want to play
Jimmy Havoc.
Jimmy Havoc. I'm just like I'm not feeling you right now. You got to give me more than just what you tried. But
I just thought that he actually looked cool with his face.
Yeah, he should. But
if he was able to keep that on while wrestling, I think he looked more cooler.
If it better wise, and if you're talking about main roster wise, it's like Malcolm said, it's not that hard. I think it's better than NXT. I don't. It's getting the views, and right now, I guess, in sense it's getting the views because it's different. It's a new promotion that's going head to head with WWE. You know, nobody else is doing that. You know, TNA is on Tuesdays now. They're on Tuesdays, and you know they're not going up against because no wrestling's on Tuesday now. But regardless, I still watch both. I DVR both of them now, so and I watch one and then I watch the other. I like them, you know. I like it. Uh, WWE will say it's not a race, it's a marathon. So yeah, you know it.
I think they really did that to in preparation because they probably knew they were going to take that out.
But you know, as of right now, they in terms of like WWE, NXT losing to AEW, it's happening. You know, they're getting more views right now, and a lot of people are saying like NXT needs to leave Full Sail, like to get out there, and you know that's been an argument now for some time. You know, like they should leave and go to different venues now. You know, NXT is big enough to do that. Then there's the argument. Well, the Full Sail crowd is exactly what made NXT what it is, and that's true. It did, but NXT has been able to sell out wherever they gone. You know, I've been to a takeover, and when they were at the Barclays Center, and they were sold out.
But my fear is that with those takeover shows, those are set, to be outside.
We haven't seen NXT try on a weekly basis.
That's what I mean.
My fear is that if they was do that, would they be losing out on a lot of money? Because when Impact was going on the road on week, they was losing out on money.
That's the other. See,
I don't want it to be a case where we start seeing these NXT shows, but you're just like, man, they look like there's barely people in the crowd.
Yeah, but you're also and some you're right, but also it's Impact. Okay, let's not forget who that was. Impact, and this is WWE.
But Impact had a good way of making it look like there was a big crowd. Yeah, that was Impact, but how I noticed through Dave Meltzer and all of them that they say that as a actual profit, NXT is not that profitable towards WWE's business.
Mm.
So that's what my fear would be if there was the go on, or would expose that what everybody says that as great as NXT is, it's not that much of a profitable commodity. My thing I think one main reason for why people are saying that they need to step outside is because since NXT is now competing with AEW, which the only reason for that, and no matter what WWE says, the only reason for that was just to cut most of AEW's viewership. Like, I don't know if it's really working because AEW dropped. And that's only going if you really care. Because me, personally, even as a kid, I didn't care. I didn't know what ratings Raw was doing as a kid. I just enjoyed the show. Even now, ratings have nothing to do with how I like Raw. Most time, Raw is a bad show. It's like, I'm not, I wonder how the ratings will do. But back to the point, my only gripe with AEW so far is the rule stuff.
Yeah, their ruling is just weird.
That is really
that ruling is just weird.
Really grinding on my nerves.
It's like the ruling stuff. The rules are just weird.
My argument to that is before you go on, my problem with is what are the rules? What is a DQ?
Yeah,
because my issue is what separates when you actually do a no DQ match? Because if they're gonna be doing this, like for instance, this past Wednesday, you had Shawn Spears and Moxley, or you don't know him as Moxley, know him as Dean Ambrose, or Ty Dillinger for all people don't know Shawn Spears. They were out there, I believe, for a 40 count, and I'm just like, where's the? Where's it? And you can tell
that JR's not using. Because there have been times, and this is on before they even had Dynamite, where people said JR has been times where he has sounded annoyed, either I guess trying to cover up or trying to explain why this is either not a DQ, why it's not a count out. So yeah, with AEW, the whole stuff of DQ, now I'm like for instance, the first show we had Moxie attack Omega, and I'm like, ref disqualified.
Yeah, disqualified, right?
And then with NXT, my fear is they're packing these shows a lot, and they're basically becoming mini takeovers. My fear is you're not takeovers are no longer feel special. Like, well, I just saw that on NXT this coming week. It's Dijak Lee thing 4, and I'm just like, wait, why are you not going to build that to a takeover?
Right. But just use your own viewing, Daniel. Do you have your own fantasy wrestling roster? You talking about like fantasy football and stuff like that? Not really. I don't do all that.
I do Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, yeah, Malcolm. If we're talking like created characters, yeah, I do, but that's here and there. Have you played the PS2 game Manhunt? I started playing it a few days ago, and I love it. Wow, you just started playing that? Yeah, I had that game. The first one's good. The second one is not so good. They made 2. Second one, whatever. Let's see. Oh, I got a silly question. A horror movie wrestling league. What horror movie characters would be in the roster? Everybody, if you go in there. Michael Myers, Jason, you name it. That's the way it is. What is your favorite Friday the 13th kill? Friday the 13th kill. I'd probably say Jason Takes Manhattan. That's probably one of my, when he kicked the guy off the bridge, kicked the guy off the building. That cracked me up. He punched him. This guy is beating Jason like, man, that's all you got. And he thinks he got him, and then that'll happen. Phantom Wolf says, when it comes to meeting your favorite celebrities or wrestlers, I'd rather meet them in a comfortable meeting, aka meet and greet. Can't stand those who just get into your personal space. Look, okay. This is what I would never do, and I made this personally clear. Never will I be waiting out in like freaking 6, 7, 4 a.m. in the morning to get a glimpse of this said person
leaving their hotel,
leaving their hotel room, or them coming into the hotel. Because you got to look at it also. There are people too, like they're tired, and hey, could you sign this for me? Like, hey, look, I'm just getting it. No, I won't do that.
And you know what's sad? What's sad is that 9 times out of 10 for celebrities and so that don't have a track record, 9 times out of 10, those are the situations where the fan or so will go on and say, "Oh, they were a dick to me." 9 times is when you're invading their personal space. When it's like, yo, and sometimes it's just a polite no thing, and it's like, oh, they're a dick. They refuse. It's like yo,
we talk about like that's the kind of stuff that. But yeah, meet and greet area. Oh, come and meet. Like, for example, they have like those signings and stuff. Like I know coming up soon in an area called Scarsdale, not too far from us, at the I think it's the what's the bookstore? Barnes and Noble. You can go up there to meet R.L. Stine, the man behind Goosebumps and all that. I met R.L. Stine before, nice guy. You could tell this guy's kind of creepy. Like he has that creepy vibe to him. Like I can see where he's got all these books from. I had a friend, not a friend, but a subscriber who told me they've met Stephen King, and just like he gives off like this weird violent chills. Like, so it's like, well, the man has been writing horror for how long? Best selling, most of his books or movies. Next up, have you ever done karate or taken a class? I have studied taekwondo since I was like 8 years old. So yeah. So there you go. Karate, not so much. I was different because everybody was doing karate. Everybody was doing karate. I wanted something different, so I took up taekwondo, which is a Korean martial art, and Korean is mostly kicks, things like that. Karate is for those who don't know what it means, it's the way of the empty fist. You know, not bad. Don't get me wrong; it's not a bad style, but I do follow the teaching. You know, the logics of like Bruce Lee of styles and stuff like that. You know, never or even just limit yourself to one technique. You know where I got that from? Probably don't. But Bruce Lee said it better. But it's good stuff. But understandably that they are like celebrities you see in movies or TV, but yet they are people like us. So I can't imagine how they're feeling in that way. Yeah, like you can't like the way I look at celebrities and people like that is like, yeah, they're people. They just make more money than me, stuff like that. God knows I would love to meet, for example, growing up as a kid, one of my favorites I loved growing up was Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I would do to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger to this day? Like I would love to meet him, just to talk with him, just for a minute, just to talk to him and just like he is almost the quintessential embodiment of the American dream. Here's a guy who came from another country with only like $10. His name became a Mr. Olympian. How many times? 7.
And never looked back.
Never looked back. Then became one of the biggest action stars in Hollywood. Became governor. Went back to doing movies and is about to show up in the next Terminator movie. Just saying, like, but there are some celebrities that we have heard that are just like dicks, like, but like you said, they're human, they're people too, but I would never do that, like, and one thing I'll tell you what I would never do. I saw, like, for example, let's say I saw Ryan Reynolds with his child, his kids, just having fun with it. Never will I try to run up on him. Can you sign this for me, Mr. Reynolds? No, they with their kids now. Hey, I just back off.
Yeah, be left alone in public. Excuse me.
Yeah, like that. Right. See, I remember blowing into the game. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Spider-Man Maximum Carnage still very hard. I beat Maximum Carnage. Yeah, there's some people still to this day. Sorry, I had to see that have not beaten that game. Phantom Axis. What was your first ever video game you ever played? For me, it was Super Mario Brothers for the N64, and since it made me attached to fighting games overall. First game I ever played. Jesus Christ, that's.
I'll have this shout out of people that remember it because I don't even remember the first video game. I remember the first. Basketball.
It was it wasn't. It was Atari actually. Yep. It was the Mario Brothers for Atari.
Just jump in.
Yeah, the Mario Brothers for the Atari. The first console I had was the Sega Master System. That was Sega's first console, and it didn't have that many memorable games. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all can. I'm probably older than I'm probably older than a lot of my viewers. So yeah, Sega Master System, and my parents bought it for me. It was my first console before the original NES. I had that, but I didn't have a lot of games for it because not a lot of games were memorable. Except, hang on, the motorcycle game. What was cool about the Sega Master System, y'all, was the fact that one, all you had you just turn the game on without a cartridge, and the game the hang on was already encoded into the system. So all you had to do is click, turn it on, and that's before it became Sega. This it would go. You see the Sega and hang on. That was it. And then of course I got the NES, and then that Christmas, that time around the Christmas, this is early 90s, early 90s. Everybody was like, so what are you getting? And first I was gonna get the Super Nintendo. It was, I'm like, I'm gonna get the Super Nintendo. All my cousins and friends like, no, don't get that. Get the Genesis. And I'm still kind of like, And then what really sold me on the Genesis was that commercial. That commercial. You can't do this in Nintendo. I was like, Daddy, I want Genesis. Next you know, that Christmas morning, pop, it's on my bed with it came with the Sonic the Hedgehog, and I fell in love with Sonic from there. And then next year, I got Sonic the Hedgehog, which already came in the system. I got the first Streets of Rage, and there were just so many memorable games for the Genesis that I love. Even some of the old school baseball games, like one of them I really love. What was one of the baseball games I love? Tommy Lasorda's Baseball. Oh my God. For all those who don't know who the hell I'm talking about, Tommy Lasorda was the GM, the manager for the LA Dodgers back in the day. And he had his own baseball game. Of course, football games like Joe Montana football. There's just some good games for that system. It really was. Quack Shot, which was kind of like just take Donald Duck mixed with Indiana Jones, and that's what you get. Castle of Illusion, the first Spider-Man game. Oh my God, their first original Spider-Man game, which was Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. Mortal Kombat, the original. Which getting it on a Genesis was much better because it had real blood. NBA Jams. Like I said, all the Streets of Rage is Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, which was like the first game where you could like incorporate like that system was so cool because it was an add-on. Like, yeah, that's right. Sonic and Knuckles was the first add-on, was the first kind of like DLC where you take the cartridge. It was like a big cartridge too. It was like this big, and then you flip it. You flip it, right? And look how you see how excited I'm getting. You flip it over, and then you could stick Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 on top of that. And you could play Sonic, and Knuckles would be in those games. And they would it was so cool. And I'll never forget. And Sonic's just doing this, and Knuckles just like. It's like I remember the only Ninja, because I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan too, right? I'm a big Turtles fan. The only Ninja Turtle game that came out for the Genesis, the Hyperstone Heist. That was good shit right there. It played just like the original arcade, Turtles in Time, all that. Yeah. Then of course, there was the old school NES Ninja Turtles games. Yeah, that was good stuff. It's good stuff. Good stuff. No memory cards, right? Back in the 70s, The Warriors was a low budget movie. Yeah, it was a low budget movie too. It was low budget, but it became a hit. It's a cult favorite. If you have the opportunity, you should live in a castle-like mansion. Like, would you? If you had the opportunity to live in a castle-like mansion, would you? That depends, Eliza, who I could bring. Because I don't think I would live alone. So. But yeah, I'll do it. I hate it when people ask celebrities for autographs, a date, or marriage. Give them a break. I would never ask them for anything like that. Like you could say you love that person, but it's just like what you love. You are you loving them or you loving this? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, uh, Vernus, uh, can you see Tyler Perry making black superhero movies or series from independent black comics in his near future or from Milestone? That would be great. If the way if he would let, because he has his own studio now, and wouldn't mind Tyler Perry doing that, taking Milestone characters like a Static or a Hardware or an Icon and making a movie from his studio, but letting the creators do it and not him, because that's the problem when some studios, other people get involved. But yeah, I could see that. I mean, anything besides Medea and all that other stuff, because I don't care for that. First video game I ever played was Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. Yeah, Duck Hunt was good. Woo!
Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, right. The dog is a Super Mario Brothers, and then the duck. Okay. When I met Donnie Yen, him and his wife were humbled, coolest people. Yeah, Vernus was here in New York, and I remember, I'll never forget when he I think he texted me, or he just tagged me in a video and a post, and he was just like, "Yo, look who I met," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yo, he met Donnie Yen." Donnie Yen and his wife were here in New York, and they were at a play or something. Like Vernus, ask Vernus, he'll tell you. But yeah, I was pretty jealous. I was like, but I was happy for him though. It's all about humble. You gotta stay humble. I remember seeing Sonic running across the screen during the Sega logo. Yeah, Sega. Shoo, shoo, that was great. I'm still not too hyped about that movie that's coming out. I know they're going back to re-image him, but it's just like, okay. I remember seeing. Oh no, the Super Nintendo to this day still remains one of my favorite consoles. That's cool. I really want a Daredevil game. I too want a Daredevil game, and I think we are not far from getting it. I would not say never, because we probably will get it. It'd be great. There was a Daredevil game that was supposed to come out that wasn't based off the movie. It was just its own game. And there's footage of it. You could see it everywhere. It was really. I played all those games you mentioned. Okay, I remember Sonic, Knuckles. Yeah, Knuckles cooked up. I love Ninja Turtles. Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time is great. I love that game. When I meet celebrities, I just say that I love them and that I wish them the best. It's good. I used to mess around with the guards in Metal Gear Solid. First of all, I am a huge Metal Gear fan. I love that. I've been playing the Metal Gear. See, a lot of people. This just shows you how old I am right now, because a lot of people don't know Metal Gear Solid started on the NES or the Famicom before it got. There's a lot of people that just jumped on these franchises because of like Metal Gear Solid, PlayStation 1, or they only are they're not really a Final Fantasy fan, true fan. I say true fan because they just jumped on when 7 came out. I've been that's true. That's true.
A fan is if they got on with if nothing interesting,
yeah,
with 1 through 6, and then
six is underrated.
Okay, and then 7 came along, and it's like, okay, I'm now a Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but you're a fan, but you haven't been with them since all the way.
That's what I call a day. Me personally, I don't like the whole troop thing. It's like, okay, what makes a troop? Because you've been there from the beginning. That you're a day oneer.
Yeah, day one.
My thing is, what the hell? Oh, like I can use myself for example. Am I not a fan of NBA Live because I stopped being a fan of NBA Live 2004 when they was really good? I didn't get on live until 1998.
Right.
So not me. I've always done that. I know somebody like, oh, this person's not a true Batman fan. Why?
I was joking, man.
I know. I've heard you say that. You know.
I was joking, like, but hey, there are a lot of people who are that was with them. But for me, with Metal Gear, I've been with Metal Gear since it was the helicopter like view. Like it's the same thing like with GTA. That's another good example. When GTA first came out, it was like the little helicopter view. You saw the top of the guy's head, and he run like this, and that's. But then 3 comes out and flips it around. That's kind of how it was. Metal Gear, but I love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear. I love the story. I love the concept. I think the one that with Metal Gear that freaked me out the most was when you're about to fight Psycho Mantis and he reads your goddamn he knows like you didn't save a lot, and if you have like other Konami games on it, he'll tell you like, oh, you like this, you like Castlevania. I'm like, wait, what the? I'm like, how is he knowing that? So it was revolutionary, but yeah. And then I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. Fuck you, Konami, for not letting Kojima-san take that series with him, because y'all have just fucked that series over with that bullshit that y'all got now called Metal Gear, whatever the fuck it's called, where you're trying to mix Walking Dead. It's just no. Survive. That's what it's called. Stupid game.
Yeah, it's not going to survive.
It's stupid. Hey, fuck you, Konami, for that. Y'all should have let. That's Kojima's baby. He should have been able to take that with him, no matter what. Fuck you. I will always hate Konami for that. Like, what's wrong with y'all, you bastards? But Metal Gear, and plus Metal Gear's music. That music is fire. I love that. I can listen to the whole goddamn album. It's so good. What up, AJ Daniels? I could see Tyler Perry doing a superhero parody. Nah, I can look. The fact that this man now has his own studio. He has his own studio. He has his own studio, his own this and that. Matter of fact, Black Panther was filmed in his studio. Of course, that's not, but I can see him doing a real superhero movie as long as it's taken seriously. He knows the deal. He knows these movies make money. So, like, if I would not mind if Valiant or Valiant came to him and said, "Hey, you know what? Screw Reginald Holland. We want you to make Shadow Man." I'll be down. Just don't put Medea in it. Just don't put her in it. I didn't say I don't hate him, but I just like that Medea stuff. Like, just stop. Like, stop with that. That I got nothing against any of the movies he's done, but the Medea, stop that. Not a question, but I just watched Batman Returns. Chris Jericho stole the bubbly paraphrase from the Penguin. Yeah, Penguin said it at the bubbly. Yeah. He didn't really steal it because everybody says, bubbly. It's not. It's just how Jericho says it. Oh, a bit of the bubbly. I really wish that Daredevil game wasn't canceled. That game looked so dope. Yeah, it was looking really. It was open world. When he would use his radar, it was really cool. I was loving that. I was like, oh shoot. I know the Metal Gear franchise started in NES. Metal Gear Solid, Castlevania are Konami's most famous franchise. Yeah, it is. Those are their most famous franchise. But still, Konami gets a big fuck you for, first of all, fuck you for firing Kojima. Fuck you for not letting him take his baby. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Who's next? Konami, Kojima's son ain't got no big ego. Get out. He's asking for too much money. You know what? If the man is putting out hit after hit after, what is too much money? And yeah, you know what? That's a good question. What is too much money in the video game industry to keep producing games and craft? This guy put his hard-earned time into the time and mind into developing this world, these characters, everything, and y'all gonna fuck him over with that bullshit? Go fuck yourselves. I heard a rumor yesterday that Marvel Studios wants to introduce Netflix Punisher in a team up movie. If this is an idea, who do you think the hero would be? That is not just a rumor. I've heard it. I've heard Feige is interested in bringing back burnt off Punisher, Charlie Cox, Daredevil. They're talking about wanting Mike Coulter as Luke Cage for like the new Avengers team. No word on Christian Ritter as Jessica Jones or Finn Jones as Iron Fist. Personally, to me, if you're gonna bring Iron Fist into the MCU, recast him. Christian Ritter could stay as Jessica Jones because she embodies that character. I'm not even gonna lie. Same thing with Mike Coulter. I can't really see anybody else playing that role, but he's on that hit show now on CBS called Evil, but I'm sure he can work out to do that and do. But if they did bring Frank Castle into a movie, a team up movie with him and Winter Soldier, him and Winter Soldier, perfect right there. Him and Bucky, that'd be great. Winter Soldier and Punisher taking out Hydra or something like that. Or hey Chris, how was New York Comic Con? Great, loved it. Took some great pictures. Go watch the video. Did some great interviews with cosplayers. One of my favorite cosplayers I had that I interviewed was probably, well, there was a couple, but one of them was he was my last interviewer, and I saw this guy dressed as Blade, and I was like, I got to talk to this guy. So I went up to him and I tapped him. I was like, sir, I'm vlogging. You want to be in my vlog? Would you mind if I vlogged you? And he was like, no, sure. And we just talked, and he's a good dude. He was from Harlem. So I joked. I said to him, I was like, so why don't you dress up as Luke Cage? He's like, I'm cool, but Blade comes first. Besides that, I don't want to cut my hair. His hair was, he's like, it took a long time to grow this. And we talked about, Mahershala Ali as Blade. We talked about Wesley, talked about, was he mad? Was he like a lot of people that were a little mad that Wesley wasn't coming back as Blade? And he just gave some great points. You got to take into consideration age. Wesley is in his 50s. And depending on when they start shooting this movie, they said that Blade is going to be part of Phase 5. But I love the fact that Wesley was just cool about it. No hard feelings, nothing like that. And he understands, that's part of the business. He talked about that. He talked about his love for, he has love for both sides, but he is more of a Marvel fanboy. He said it, but he was a real cool dude. I talked to these first timers all the way from Colombia. Two lovely ladies. One was dressed as She-Hulk, like decked out in green, abs, and I can tell you right now, in person, you can't really see it in the video, guy, because I pan out so you can see her legs, her thighs were so muscular. I was like, wow. And the other woman was dressed as Wonder Woman. So yeah, She-Hulk and Wonder Woman. And I talked to her, and I told her, you got a series coming out. And at first she didn't. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. And the woman dressed as Wonder Woman was like, and you got a new movie coming on. She's like, I do. First she said, hopefully we'll do. I was like, no, it's called Wonder Woman 84. It's coming out soon. And they were really cool to talk to as well. I talked to a cool couple. One was dressed as Nebula. And the other one, her husband was dressed as a character called the Brooklyn Defender. It cracked me up. Actually cracked me up. But what was really cool about them was like, when after we finished, they saw my YouTube name. Like, they were like, are you from Mount Vernon? I was like, yeah. It was like, so are we. What a world, small world. It was cool. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that interview. Those interviews. It was great. Moving on. Metal Gear fourth wall breaking in game at its finest. Yeah, that was it was when I was younger, that kind of scared me. Like, yo, how the hell is he doing that? Like, Psycho Mantis is reading your mind and stuff. I made a point about this on Twitter that NXT's women's division is better than AEW. Not taking anything away from AEW, but do you agree? Okay, look, you're gonna agree. I'm gonna have to say yes, because we don't know the full extent of AEW's women's division. We don't know. All I know is Adam Cole's girlfriend, who is actually a real dentist. That's not fake. What she calls herself. She's really a dentist. Then there's who's the champion again, Michael? Rio, yeah. Little 90-pound Rio. And then there's the native, what she call herself? The native beast. What's her name again? Violet, yeah, Rosa. Nyla Rose. And then of course there's the librarian. But I don't think, does she wrestle? Leave us wrestling as the librarian.
I don't know if she's gonna stick with that character because it was poorly received.
Mm-hmm. So Allie's there. Kong is there. I think she's there.
Kong, I believe, is because they've had.
Yeah,
she's been when they've done media. She's been there.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing she's.
But I don't know how much she's gonna be in the ring because.
I think she's gonna be a special attraction.
Yeah, she's just a special attraction because Kong has Kia's back is really messed up. That's why she's gotten into acting now. So, but yeah, of course you're gonna say the women's division in NXT is better because we don't know the full extent of AEW. So
I would. In terms of AEW, I think AEW got over both main roster and NXT is the tag division. You look at that tag tournament, and I'm intrigued in most of all of that. Like, I was intrigued for the prior part. I don't think that's the best that because the story of the match was that the Young Bucks were the better, so I got that. But next week, it's been a while since I've seen Daniels and Cass.
Yeah, so
I'm like, I always like Daniels and Cass.
But I do agree that the women's division in NXT is a lot better. Mandalore, hey brother, loved your New York Comic-Con vids and interviews. Have you noticed cosplayers are really getting on point? Yeah, I mean they. In terms of just the detail that they put into their costumes is great. Like the woman that dressed up as female Doc Ock, she said it took 6 months to make those arms, and the couple that was dressed as I interviewed a couple dressed as Vincent Valentine and Klaus Strife. I asked him how long did it take to make the Buster Sword. He said it took like 6 months to make that. Like that it's like and he's like, you want to hold it? I was like, okay, and it's got some weight to it. It has some weight. It was cool. I think that more people are getting into characters and embracing the geek. But yeah, look, man, when you're at these conventions, it is nothing wrong with getting into character. There were many times that I was in character. Like when I got in the pose, like I really felt like Spider-Man. I'm like, when I took that picture with the Rogue and Gambit, I love that, and people were just like, turn to me. We felt it felt cool to be in that pose. When I took the picture with Robin, that was my last picture I took with before I left the con, and it was great. It was great to be in that pose and be in that position, because at first I had to really get into it, and I loved meeting female Thor. She was like the hit because she was upstairs next to the Marvel booth, and her costume was on point. As you talk about on point, she had the hammer, she had the mask, and she was tall. And I'm not saying that because I'm a short guy, just she was tall. Like I was like, whoa, like that Shira was tall. Like I met a Shira who looks more like I saw a classic Shira and modern day Shira. And the picture you see me take of modern day Shira, she was digging in her bag, and I said, Shira, can I get a picture? And she's like, oh sure. She's like, oh sure, sweetie. Let me get some for. And next you know, she stood up, and it was just like my head went from here, and it just went doom, 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 doom. So I was looking up at it, so I had to back up to take that picture. That's all. I don't know, and she wasn't wearing what's this? Kit Kat. She wasn't wearing like high heels, and she was just tall. She had to have been probably 6 feet or 5'11". She was tall. She was an Amazon. She was tall, and I was just like, she on point. I love seeing cosplayers really like. There was this cool Predator. Like he was a hit too. Like he was big, and he had like the mat, the whole, it stayed open though, but he was great. There was a big Luke Cage. Yeah, there was a Luke Cage, but he was downstairs. I caught a picture with him. I took a picture with him. He wasn't the same Luke Cage that you met back in 2016. I know that guy. That guy from Seattle. He's from Seattle. He cosplays as black heroes, but that wasn't him. But I met a big Luke Cage. This dude was just jacked. He was booming. You could tell he was a power lifter. And Who? I saw a couple of X-23s. Not the one that we. The highlight of New York Comic Con that when you got all these people just taking pictures was when you come into the Javits Center and like there's a big opening before you hit the showroom. It was Slave Leia. So we're talking Slave Leia with that costume and this woman. Yeah, it was really revealing. And you talk about cakes. Did you take a picture? No, I didn't take no picture. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like we talking about guys. Remember how them guys was with the camera with X-23 like that? Chop, 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 chop. The guy dressed as not Dom. He was just as Phoenix. No, it begins with a C. The family always dies. It wasn't Cam. Yeah, well, I saw the picture. He was. Okay, yeah, well, it was him. But yeah, this woman was just a Slave Leia. That costume is very revealing, and so you can see every curvature of her body, and it's actually very voluptuous. Yeah, she was. I was like, I was gonna interview her, but I was like, you know what? Nah, let's not do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna. She had lovely legs. I'm not gonna. But it reminded me of that. It reminded me of that Electra we met. Remember her? Yeah. So yeah, but it was fun. I love seeing that. I love seeing cosplayers get into character and things like that. Have fun. It was funny because I was going down in the artist alley, and when I was going down the escalator, guess who was coming up the escalator? A Kingpin. And I was like, oh man, Kingpin. But one of the best thing is one of my favorite poses also was where I took a picture with a guy dressed as Mysterio, and so I got in that, and we took a long picture together. It was great. But yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I love doing that. Let's see. I cosplay as Spider-Man too. What do you think of animated Deathstroke series coming to CWC? I heard of it. I haven't seen it yet. Can you see SNK doing a Dynasty Warriors style game featuring every? That'd be kind of interesting. That would be kind of interesting. Have you seen the Joker yet? No, I'm not gonna see it. I'm happy. You know, I'm not. It's making a lot of money. Well done, but to me, in my opinion, the Joker never needed his own movie. That's just me. And yeah, you could say, oh, but it's not that Joker. Still the Joker. Are you gonna play Death Stranding? I probably will. I'll check it out. Man, I have to get to New York Comic Con next year. If you're coming to Thai Work, let me know. I will be at the Thai Work 2020. That's definitely a convention I will be going to one in Virginia Beach. That's for 2 days. Matter of fact, and so yeah, that's one of the conventions outside of New York. I'm definitely going to go to. That's only for 2 days, but yeah, it's cool. I am going to be there. I plan to go there. Metal Gear Survive. I will not play that bullshit. Nope. Oh my god, that's awesome about that Lady Thor. Yeah, she was great. That Lady Thor was great. And I asked her. I wanted to interview her, but there was just too many people like wanted to take pictures with her, so I was like, I can't do it. But I did ask her. I said, you looking forward to the movie? And she's like, yeah, I am. She's like, I'm a little nervous. She said she's a little nervous because she doesn't know how they're gonna play that off because Natalie Portman, you know, she said she's hoping that Natalie gets into shape. Like, and we're not talking like deep, but you could literally see like definition on her, like, oh, she got into shape for the role. That's always been my big, like, at least look like you're in shape. You know, a lot of people still are just surprised that she's back. Have you read any comic books tie-ins based on video games? Yeah, I've read a couple. And of course, you know, the Spider-Man game, he's got a couple of comics that are based around that. So yeah, the Mortal Kombat comics are great. Things like that. They were based around Mortal Kombat X. They were really good. How crazy is it that the last Arrow crossover is including Lucifer? Yeah, well, we don't really know if that's real. It's a rumor, but now they're saying. Now I just heard another rumor that the Titans from the Titans TV series is going to be in there. I'm like, God damn! Like, what the hell? Who knows? But already they're going all out for this all out for this crossover. I'm glad Black Lightning is there. So who knows? They may pull. I still have this strange feeling that all this is leading to is for all the shows to be in one universe now. So the shows that are not in on Earth, the Prime Earth, are going to be now on the Prime Earth. So don't be shocked if Supergirl now is in the same Earth as Flash, and Black Lightning is not is either. Don't be surprised if it's finally acknowledged what Earth Black Lightning is on, or it's now in that universe, because that's basically what Crisis on Infinite Earth kind of felt. The real story. That's how in the beginning. That's how the JSA and all them came to be, and Earth 2 and all that stuff. So yeah, don't be surprised if that happens. Have you gotten the DLC Terminal D? No, I have not gotten it, but I've already seen like the dialogues. The so many Arnold references from his different movies is crazy. I feel Natalie Portman is not tall enough to play the Goddess of Thunder. Um, yeah, I mean, how tall is Natalie Portman? I don't think she's that tall. Let me see. I just want to see how tall she is. I don't know. She ain't no. So she's a pro. What? Let me see. All right, let me see. How tall is she? She's a year. Oh, she's my height. She's my height. She's 5'3". Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she ain't that tall. Um, yeah, she's not that tall. But yeah, maybe they'll do some special effects to make her taller. Who knows? That'd be cool to keep her identity secret. But secret identities in the MCU is not really look because Spider-Man just lost his secret identity. Um, what are your expectations for Stephen Amell for his new show, Heels? Oh, the wrestling show. That's gonna be. I'm really gonna looking forward to kind of watching that. Um, Stephen Amell is a big wrestling fan too, so I'm looking forward to seeing that what he does with that. Um, my expectation is just it's more of an old school vibe, but I'm interested in it. Does Terminator Dark Fate retcon the third movie? I believe it's a sequel to the Terminator 2. It's a real sequel. Yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Basically, Dark Fate. James Cameron is doing what they did with Halloween, the last Halloween movie. Retcon everything up, uh, everything else except for Halloween 1 and 2, I believe. So yeah, oh, yeah, 1. So that's how they're doing it. Who are some of your favorite big men wrestlers? My favorite big men in wrestling. Uh, that's kind of easy. Well, of course, you gotta always show love for Andre the Giant. Rest in peace. Always gotta show some love for him. Undertaker, of course. I know people don't look at Undertaker like that, but Undertaker is definitely a big man. Kane, King Kong Bundy, Big Show, Big John Studd was good. Bam Bam, yeah, thank you, Bam Bam Bigelow, rest in peace.
I know where the dream match. Bam Bam and Vader.
Vader, Big Van, rest in peace, Big Van Vader. Those are some of my favorite big men. See, I don't look at Sid as being technically I mean, he is a big guy. He's tall. I mean, he can step over the rope.
But were you more of a fan of his personality?
I think more a fan of his personality.
But when the bell rung,
the ring, I wasn't that much of a big fan of it.
What about Nash?
Yeah, Kevin. Outside of his stupidity, yeah, Kevin Nash will get a.
I had a debate before. Do you consider Scott Hall a big man wrestler? But Scott Hall is tall.
Scott Hall, guys.
Or do you consider him like Rock? Yeah, he's tall, but his style is.
Rock is 6'5". I don't consider that a big man. To me, a big man is someone when you hit 6'8", and then you go from there. That's a big man.
Lazy Hogan.
Like Hogan, but I mean, but then of course you look at somebody wide, like I said, like a Bam Bam or a King Kong Bundy or Mark Henry's a big man. He's a big man, like it's like Haystack Calhoun, somebody like that. That's a big man. Yokozuna, that was a big man, but he it's kind of hard. It's really hard when you categorize big man.
Remember, even Big E was like, well,
yeah.
When they asked Big E, was like, well, I consider myself a big man, but
yeah,
Big E's wide.
Big E is wide. You see how big E is, but he's only 5'10" or something like.
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know that, but yeah, the mass makes you look bigger.
And here's the thing: more than ever, we're seeing a return of big men and athletic big men and women.
Yeah, big athletic big men. Yeah, that is true.
My man Otis.
Yeah. The Terminator timeline is so convoluted and basically it's getting too convoluted because look, because let's start it from the beginning. Terminator 1 wasn't my favorite movie because at that time I did not like seeing Arnold as a bad guy, but he was a damn good bad guy. Okay, he played the part, and now that is how I always said all he had to do to play Mr. Freeze was be the Terminator all over again. Cold, no real motion, straight to the point. There you go. Then Terminator 2 comes out. He's protecting John Connor. I loved it. Loved Terminator. That's my favorite Terminator. Still to this day. Still to this day, T2 is my favorite Terminator. Nobody can ever tell me any differently that, oh, T3 was better. I'll smack you right in the face for saying that.
It's one of my favorite sequels of all time.
It is my favorite. Still to this day. But me and Malcolm, we were walking home one day and we were talking about it, and we were talking about oh my God, what is Robert Patrick, who played the T-1000. Why am I bugging out on these names? That Kit Kat did something to me. T-1000. How legit scary he was. Malcolm will tell you right now, he was legitimately scared of Robert Patrick as the T-1000. Like that look he had, and he walk at you like that, and then when he start running, and so Malcolm said, how would I feel? And we were walking on our neighborhood, and one of our neighbors got a dirt bike, and we was like, look, John Connor's dirt bike, and he said, how'd that feel? I'm on that dirt bike going full speed, and I look behind me, and this guy is still right behind me with that face, like, with no like, and I'm like, yeah, I could get that. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing Gabriel Luna, who's gonna be the new Terminator in this, how he does, but I am gonna go see it. I do want to see it because I didn't see that last one. I didn't care to see that. And it had Arnold in it, and I was just like, nah, it's not doing it for me. Oh, but the fact that James Cameron is on it gives me a little hope. Gives me more hope. And oh, he wasn't in the last one. He wasn't. He didn't have anything to do with that. And seeing Linda Hamilton back as Sarah Connor, I'm like, look good. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong. Emily Clark, her cute, her fine ass self. And didn't mind her as a young, but when you start fucking with the timeline like that, where John Connor becomes the bad guy, I could not accept that. I'm like,
you showed it off in the trailer.
Yeah,
I was like, you just gave up the whole movie.
As soon as they said John Connor's the bad guy, my face was like, huh? That makes no sense. Like, how is he? You already stated that John Connor's the great hero and leader of the revolution against Skynet, and then you do that.
So what does he come from a reality where he got caught or something?
Yeah, I don't know because I didn't watch it. I didn't care to watch it. So yeah, it's hopefully this one does better. But yeah, Primus, you're right. It is convoluted. It's all messed up. Just have to say, word is Dark Fate Terminator is the end to Sarah Connor. We'll have to see. What are your thoughts on the Jay and Silent Bob? We are laughing out. Long live. I definitely want to see that because I am a fan of Jay and Silent Bob. And shouts out to Jay, for being 8 years sober without, shouts out to him for doing that. That's cool. Peter Parker's secret is out. Yeah, and Spider-Man Far From Home, his identity was revealed to the world by J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah. And it ends with the holy sh, and that was it. I'll be back, Batman. The T-1000. Have you seen this kid? He gave the same look in the Marines with John Cena. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I wonder if the opening scene of the next Spider-Man movie will be Peter being chased by paparazzi, and we'll have to see. It ain't gonna look like paparazzi. It look like he may be up for murder. What up, Chris? Did you talk about past 2 weeks of pro wrestling? Kinda. What are your thoughts on Master P owning House of Glory? We'll see. We'll see where Master P can do. I mean, not gonna say he's not a good businessman, but the thing is, Master P needs to realize that he's talking about, Vince is in trouble. You could say all that, but if you don't know the wrestling business, you ain't gonna do nothing. So he needs to circle himself with people who know the wrestling industry. And I'm caught up on all the questions. So while that's going on, I will show you guys a few things that I got for some friends from New York Comic Con. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of the Funko Pops. I don't like them. They kind of creep me out because the big eyes and it look like Satan himself is looking at you. Like you look at them. But I got a friend that's a big fan of them, and he wanted me to get one of the exclusive from New York Comic Con, so I got it for him. So here it is, the Hero Killer Stain. This is exclusive New York Comic Con. This was the last one. I got it from, and from, so I got it from. I have to send that out to him as well. This is for Blue Goblin. This is Gail's new story, 7 Days. That's the free shirt. Oh, I got the first comic for the series right here for him, and it's actually signed. It's actually signed by Gail. Gail signed it, and I picked up some illustrations for him by artists when I was in Artist Alley. His name is Christopher Jones. He drew Adam West Batman. Gabby's a big fan of Adam West, and of course Wonder Woman. These are drawn, and I got a print for him as well. Gabby's a big Turtles fan like me. His favorite turtle is Raphael. So when I saw this print, I was like, okay, I get it, bro. As you can see, this print, it's Raphael, and look what he did to Shredder. So I got this is only $5. So I was like, I bought a bunch. There was a stand that had these prints like this, $5 each. I bought like $45 worth of them. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I'll show you off my print, all of them, if you don't mind, if you like. DPZ, that pop, this pop is for DPZ, actually. And I also got this for him too. It's Green Ranger stabbing Rita. And I got this for my friend Victor, Ziploc Gory. The Luke Cage statue. See inside. So I gotta send that to him. This only cost $30. Originally, this is over $100-something. $30. I got this for $30. Don't break that shit. But yeah, I got a few things. I said I was gonna get a few things from my friends, a couple of friends. I wish I can get stuff for a lot of my friends, but I'm not a billionaire, so I can't get everything. So but I picked up a few prints. I'll show you some prints. Mostly when I go to these conventions, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for the prints. Or I didn't take a lot of books to get signed by, because a lot of the writers that were there signed enough of my stuff. I don't need it anymore. But yeah. Yeah, so one thing I did was got a lot of prints. So like I said, it's prints right here. Check this out. So there were two people I was trying to get to at New York Comic Con. One of them was an artist by the name of Mr. Marcus Williams. If you have Instagram, follow him on Instagram under Marcus Visuals. He's a really good talent artist, and and a couple of things he had put out. He just puts out just great stuff. One of the things he was doing was a thing called putting the Disney princesses with X-Men, and two of them I had to get right off the bat. It was, you buy two, you get the third one free. So I bought two of them. The first one is the Psylocke and Mulan. I was like, I gotta get this, and you can see right there he signed it again. I was like, yeah, I gotta get that. And the other one, of course, is the Storm and Pocahontas. He got a bunch of them. They're like, Iceman and Elsa, all those people. There's a bunch of them, but these are the two that I love the most. So I was like, I gotta get that. And so the last one was free, and I was looking at his portfolio. I was like, and I saw one. I was like, that 80s brat in me came out. That kid from the 80s came out. I was like, do you have that? And he looked for it, and he looked for it, and he found it. So he had mixed Black Panther and Thundercats together. He's got a bunch of them. And I saw this Lino and Black Panther. I was like, dude, can I have that? Like, it was the last one. I was like, He's like, well, there's a lot of marks on it. I was like, I don't care. Just give me. I'll take it. And so yeah, I got it from him. Cool guy. And then of course I got prints from another artist. I first met her in M.V.K. Her name was Ashley A. Woods. She was great. And I picked up a few of her work too. The first one I'll show you because I showed it off at M.V.K. Is this beautiful vixen that she did. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty, right? Look at Maury in her glory. She's got a lot of cape down there. I don't know why. And this character she did. This is a character from a comic she drew. This character is actually getting a TV series soon. But yeah, got that. And I don't know who this is, but it's just a cool picture. I was like, I gotta get this. I thought it was Misty Knight, but I don't think so. But I was like, can I get that? It's cool, right? This is nice. I was like, yeah, she got that for me. This was actually the free one because most of these guys will you buy two, you get the third one free, and if you buy more, you get like they'll come down in price. But yeah, I love prints. And remember, I was telling you about like that booth that was just $5. Yeah, I got a bunch of those too. So here's the ones I got. So you got this bomb ass She-Hulk. I was like, yeah, I'm taking that. I was like, this is coming with your boy. I was like, yeah, this is coming with your boy. And of course, my Rogue. My Rogue. Anna, my Rogue. My favorite look for Rogue. You know, I could touch her, but yeah, I was like, yeah, she's coming with me. And then of course, my favorite Mortal Kombat character, Scorpion. Of course, I was popping that. I'm like, yeah, give me that. And then I couldn't leave Scorpion hanging without his boy. Sub-Zero. Looks cool. They're not enemies now. They're good. They're cool. They're on good terms. And got the King of Wakanda, T'Challa. I plan to cosplay as him someday. I actually want this look, the cape and everything. I want to be more authentic. The old school look. And of course, I can't go wrong with the turtles. I'm a turtle fan. I love this. I was like, I got this. You got Leo down there. You got Donnie, my boy Mikey, Raph. You got Splinter in there. She's not there yet. This is an old picture, but so someday I want to post with all five. The written now the five. But yeah, those are the prints I got for myself. But I've acquired a lot of prints over the past from MegaCon to now New York Comic Con. But I love print. I want to hang these up. I want to hang them up, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to because then I'm like, probably gonna take them down, But yeah, those are my prints. It's good stuff. I had a lot of fun with those. For a second, I thought Green Ranger was having an affair with Rita. it does look like. I mean, it does look. If you don't see the dragon blade going into her, yeah, it does look like that. But yeah, I collect pops like that. Let me see what is going on. But like I said, Senquan, like I said, Ken, Master P, he's got a lot of work. And he's thinking, yeah, Vince is in trouble. Like, whatever. Like, he needs to put himself with people who know the industry. If he's just gonna be this, okay, but I don't need to see Master P as a working character on that whatever. No. I like collecting Funko Pop.
I haven't seen Master P as a character since the Romeo show.
Yeah. Definitely. What would you make the next Spider-Man? What would make this next Spider-Man work is having Matt Murdock as Peter's lawyer. Damn right. And if that's true, because that's what I'm hearing, is like there's this whole, save Daredevil, but what would make Daredevil as cool as like they do the trailer, and the end of the trailer is Peter with his lawyer. You're my lawyer, and you know how Charlie Cox with his glass just had that smile. Yeah, that would be a good way of setting up. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's going to be She-Hulk." Yeah, I get it, but to me, there still is no set date for that series yet. No set date. So why do that you could set up better with Peter and one of his best friends in the superhero community. And I could see Daredevil in this being more like a big brother to Peter. It worked. Man, what is this? Hey, skunk back there. But yeah, it'd be cool. Let's see. Moving on. I think I missed some questions. No, Konami. Yeah, it looks like having an affair. It's hilarious. What would you? Who do you think will play Moon Knight from Disney Plus? It better not be Shia LaBeouf. I know that for sure. No. No. I got nothing against him, but no, I don't. I don't see him as Mark Spector. I don't. I don't.
Nothing is impossible.
I don't know.
Just do it.
Edge may be making a comeback in WWE. Do you think NXT would be a good place for him? Yeah, he keeps saying that. No, it's not true. It's not true. But
I think it's just a back off.
It's just a back off. But the truth is, he was seen in New York or here not too long ago because there's like one doctor that is for the WWE that he gives the final okay, so it could be, but most likely Edge is going right back to the main roster. It's gets who I don't know, but if he is gonna wrestle again, who knows? That loot was awesome. You got for them. Oh, thanks. For a second, okay, that's that for a second. Favorite animated Batman movie? Mine personally is Batman. Batman Return of the Joker. Mine is always still Mask of the Phantasm, the only movie that came out in movie theaters. Still that will always be that. That's my favorite Batman movie. Then of course it's Under the Red Hood. That's next. Wish I could do the same as getting stuff for friends at cons. I just saved. I was like, I put some money aside. I was like, that's for a couple, 3 friends. Batman versus TMNT. Oh, that's Perry's favorite. I'll PM you later. I know you haven't been active lately, but that's fine. I found I'm gonna be a grandpa. Laughing out loud. Hey, congrats, grandpapa, gramps, pops, or father the sequel. That's seasoned dad. It's just like, and there I was. attack. Remember that? Did you have a mule? Yeah. This black and white sucks. Can't you remember it in color? Oh, color behinds. There I was in Nebraska during the Dust Bowl. That's funny. Peter's identity as Spider-Man being exposed almost reminds me of the same thing that happened to Ben 10. It happened to. Are we talking about that new one? Because I don't watch that new one. I don't. Do you want a revival of SWAT Cats? Yep, I'll take a revival of that. Comic Cons are a lot of fun. Meeting not just the celebrities, but interacting with other people is a whole lot of fun. Yes, it is. I still go back and watch the old tributes you did and draw on them for inspiration. What would you like to see them? What would you like to see them evolve into? Um, my old tributes that I did. If it does that for people, that's great. It's fine. People have said they like that stuff, and people do ask me like, how come I don't do it no more? And I say YouTube. Like, I find a good song that fits the character, and oh, you can't have that, or it's just copyrighted, and I'm like, it's gonna cut out the song. Like, nah, I can't do that. So that's why I stopped doing it. Because before they stopped, I had a list of next characters I was gonna do, and then all of a sudden I'm getting emails from YouTube saying this video has been copyrighted because it's using copyrights. So did I change it and everything go back? No, this song has been copyrighted. And I'm like, wait, how did? So I was like, I can't do these no more. Like, it took the fun out of it. Kind of took the fun out of it. Like,
once Google partnered up with YouTube,
it took the fun out of it. So I was like, yeah, I can't do it no more. But I'm glad that they still do that for certain people, and it's fun. I mean, I'll watch it from time to time. Like, they're kind of out of date by a lot of them because it only goes up to a certain amount of time, of like what's going on with that character. But it's fine. Sinquan, are you ready for the TMNT 100? IDW has done great things for the Turtles. Yeah, IDW has been great. Warhawk Rambo. I hope Edge feuds with somebody he never feuded with before. That's true. That's good.
I mean,
I'm trying to think
by that roster. That's who's on it that he hasn't feuded with.
Yeah,
who's on it that he has feuded with? Because most of that roster is basically new for Edge.
That's right. Yeah.
All I can think of is Randy.
Yeah, Randy. Yes, right. I meant Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. Oh, yeah, but that's kind of not the same because by that time, Ultimate, when you started seeing like Ben older and he's Ben 10,000, like he was a world-renowned hero. So it was like, this is Peter, and the thing is, what's different is Peter's identity comes out at the time where they're saying that he murdered. See, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who haven't seen it. Like, they say he's a murderer, like he killed a character. So his identity, J. Jonah said, he's a Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker, and he's like, holy shit, and then it cuts off. I don't care what haters say. I liked Rambo Last Blood. I still want to see that. I have not seen it. A lot of my friends have said they liked it. It was just a straight up, gore fest, which is particular for Rambo, but the story was simple. It's fine. That's cool. I got nothing against that. But I think he does need to stop doing, like, every time he says, well, like they brought up Rocky again, and he's like, well, I got an idea for it. I'm like, yo, we saw Rocky reunite with his son, meet his granddaughter. and everything, and it's like he could just live out. Like I mean, I wouldn't mind another Expendables because he's saying he's working on new Expendables. You know, Mr. Stallone just continues to work at his age. Yeah, yeah, Bart. That's his name, Bart. Let's see. Moving on. Okay. Last Blood was a soldier. Soldier dealing with PSD. Yeah, he put that. It was PTSD. Definitely. Rambo is a big. He's a big, like, if you look up fictional characters, soldiers with PSD, Rambo's face would be right there because that was the big emphasis what Stallone talked about. He's like, he never leaves the ranch. He never really he's
away from the ranch.
Yeah.
So he definitely
he acts really different. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, it was. You could tell definitely. That's cool. I don't like what they are doing with the Terminator. You talking about Dark? Actually, I kind of like that they're doing this to kind of well, okay, it worked for Halloween, so let's try it. Okay, so it's 1, 2, now this one.
Me personally, I would just like for this.
I still do feel that the Terminator franchise should end because it's like, okay, have an end sequence. Like, do they stop Skynet? We kind of know they don't, but in the future, do they?
Yeah, just
tell that. They started with that
if you didn't, Salvation didn't even tell.
Yeah, that. They started with it kind of with Salvation, but then it went willy nilly, and it just. I'm like, okay, like it went willy nilly after a while. Okay, my boys. Let's see what else Pac members got for me. Have you watched how Spider-Man Far From Home should have ended video? No, I have not. I really don't watch those. Just like all the good things about this. I really don't watch it. Maybe I'll watch it. With Dark Fate. Are you looking forward to the Power Rangers? People asked me that before. The Power Rangers TMNT crossover. They've done it before. I didn't like it too much because they used that Ninja Turtle show I don't like. I can't stand that new mutation crap. Some elements I'm unsure of. Some elements of it adding SJW crap. Like what? Okay, what social justice? What are we talking about? The female? I got no problem with that.
I think that's if it's that, because
if
it's that, we saw a female Terminator.
Right, we seen a female Terminator. Like, it's not.
And she was the villain.
She was the villain, the TX.
So, and it can't be
Sarah Connor
because
she's a key.
Because Sarah Connor's character was that from 2 on, where she became a strong female character.
She was always, yes.
My thing is, you would know better than me what SJW element is in this Dark Fate. I just honestly asking that question. Like, was there something I missed?
Yeah, I didn't see anything in these trailers.
I really followed was this a trailer, and that was it. So, enlighten me. What SJW is? You would know better than me. Like, get back with us.
Give us that, because I'm trying to figure out what that is. See, a lot of people say, what SJW crap? Like, what SJW crap you talking about? Like, you got to get back to me on that. I can't stand Rise of the Turtles team. I don't watch that cartoon. I care less about that cartoon. I'm talking about the old live action TV series that Saban had. That's stupid. That was the series that introduced Venus. With no real backstory. Like, she had no backstory. Like, that is ridiculous. At least Jenica has a backstory. Like, I'm cool with that. What time? All right, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up, guys. So get your last questions out right now. Um, we gonna wrap this up. And of course, we will. I'll be back for the second open mic, the 27th of October. Again, like I said, guys, I do these now on Sunday. So like I was telling everybody before about conventions, I do have a bucket list of conventions, especially conventions that are outside of the state. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I could show it to you, like conventions that I'm talking about, like my bucket list, if I can get it. Um, mm, 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 mm. Let me see. All right, here we go.
I hope that person get back with that.
Yeah, please get back with
That's
it.
so
You're
big.
going to watch Full Gear. Okay. Hey Chris, I saw with a rumor that they're gonna be a Silverhawks movie. Really, Silverhawks? Okay. Um, what the hell? Come on. Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on. What the? Really? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, I'll show you some of the. I have six so far. I have six conventions on my bucket list, out of state conventions, and I'll show it to you right now. So that is my convention list, out of state convention list. I just do it on my phone. As you can see, MegaCon Orlando is checked off. Says attended. I attended that. Number 2 is E3. Number 3 is the C2E2. That's the convention in Chicago. Number 4 is Dragon Con. Number 5 is San Diego Con. Definitely want to get there someday. And number 6 is Emerald City Con. That's the convention up in Seattle. It'll be a good time. I can go up there to Seattle and even go get me some man cakes. And maybe take the 12 omelet challenge. Well, yeah. But no, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, those are some of my conventions. But I still want to do some conventions that are just on the East Coast, but are out of state. Like I'm not doing any more conventions the end of 2019. 2020, 2020 definitely already is the Tidewater convention that's down in Virginia Beach. That's for 2 days. That's only 2 days. That's coming May 16th and the 17th. But I also want to do another one, and guess you guys are going to hear it first here. But I want to plan Awesome Con. Awesome Con is in Washington D.C. And those are conventions definitely where I could just hop on a bus and just go there. I definitely want to do Awesome Con. That's in May as well. But I just want to go one day. We'll be fine. Got a friend that does it all the time. Like she comes up from Philly, does New York Comic Con, takes the bus right back down. So yeah. But yeah, Awesome Con. I definitely want to try that. Just trying to get experience with different conventions, see the difference, and also just interact with a lot of different geeks. That's definitely it. Will you watch Full Gear? That's the AEW pay-per-view. I'll try. Will you cosplay as any other versions of Spider-Man? Yeah. I want to cosplay as other costumes, Spider-Man costumes. Besides Spider-Man, I want to cosplay as, like I said, Black Panther, Mr. Terrific. I had a whole list of characters. There's Wolverine. I definitely want to cosplay as Wolverine. I'm short like him, So, Nightwing. I definitely want to cosplay as a Jedi. I am a Jedi. Dutch. I know a lot of people say I should cosplay as Dutch from Black Lagoon. Just shave my head, put on a green vest, get a fake shotgun, Dutch. I said Nightwing, the Flash. Just characters I love. But Spider-Man definitely there's others. There's like a bunch of Spider-Man costumes I just want to have, just to have mostly all his costumes that I want. Even Miguel O'Hare's 2000 Spider-Man 2099. Yep, there's a couple. There's many people. Childers, hey, I've been to Dragon Con. That's cool. I know Dragon Con's crazy. That's where the legit cosplayers be like, they get into it. You're planning to go to San Diego Comic Con? That's freaking. Yeah, I want to get there. I want to get to San Diego Comic Con. That's one of the big ones. Especially on the West Coast. That's probably one of the biggest. San Diego Comic Con. I haven't been to California in practically over 30 years. I used to live in California a long time ago, back in the 80s. I haven't been there since. But I've been to many places in California. My parents and I, my parents were in the military. They were on a base called Fort Orm. It's no longer there anymore in Monterey. It's no longer there anymore. And when we came from Germany, they were stationed there, and we lived in Monterey. And my dad used to take us all, so I've been to LA and all that stuff, but I haven't been to California in over 30 years. So it's crazy. But Emerald City Con is the convention up in Seattle. That's another city I would love to visit. I've always wanted to visit Seattle. But the only thing I know for sure is take a raincoat because it rains still crazy up there. But watching a show called Man vs. Food even made it even more worth the while to go up there, because there's this challenge up there called the 12-egg challenge. It's an omelet, egg omelet, and they bring it out on a pizza pan, and 12 eggs mixed with, and it's got all kinds of different things inside of it, and you got to eat that with toast and everything. And Malcolm's friend, I was just about to say that. Malcolm's friend actually had it. There's also, they have a diner up there that serves these things called man cakes. These big pancakes that are literally they come off the plate. But other than that, I just want to see the original. I'm not a big Starbucks person, but I would love to see the original Starbucks, the Space Needle and things like that. Yeah, go to the famous fish market where I can see the catch. Hey, throwing the fish. Hey, go ahead. it's just, besides just going to a convention.
Pay your respects to the Sonics.
Yeah, pay my respects to the Sonics, Supersonics. I still think Seattle NBA needs to bring back the Supersonics, but yeah, Chi-Town, Chicago is definitely another city, I definitely want to get to, I got friends that live in Chicago, so it's like, okay, like I can go visit them while I'm about to go to attend this convention. Besides, like, to me, it's like, if you can make it in New York, that's true. Like, you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And Chicago, to me, is just like the cousin of New York. It's just like, okay. LA's another cousin, just a little bit more open. But Dragon Con, definitely. I've been to Atlanta once. But then there's people always like, you should go to Baltimore Con. I know that's about to happen. It's too late for that. But, I would love to go to Be More, and Philly has a convention too, but there's another reason why I would go to Philly besides that. So, but that's a little personal. So I can't tell you that, guys. But yeah, cosplaying is great. Like I do like cosplay, and this was only the second time I cosplayed for New York Comic Con. The first time I cosplayed, I was Agent 47 from the Hitman series. That was easiest cosplay to do. Get a black suit, got a black suit, shaved my head, red tie. I got some fake guns, gloves, a little wire to make for his, his cut, and get the tattoo of the tattoo for the barcode. I bought that from eBay, but basically what it said was, just put it and dab some water on it, and it'll stick. Well, I did that, and you know what happened? It fell right off. So when me and Malcolm were at New York Comic Con 2017, I stayed in character. Here I am in character. I had the straight lace, no nonsense face. I'm, I'm not smiling. I'm not doing much of anything, and plus I'm dragging this like bag with me. And so when we're walking through the streets of New York, there were people that were looking at me like, oh, Malcolm had even said, like, there were people looking at me like I was like,
two middle-aged women.
Yeah.
Outside like a Best Buy or something. Man, it really looked like they was concerned, like, should we call? I'm thinking, don't do it.
Yeah, they thought I was really like some hitman, like. But when I got there inside the convention, there were times I would cut off the character, like I want to take pictures with other people, but most of the time I was straight laced. I had that face. I'm like, not smiling until I met Gail. That was the first time I met Gail, and yeah, that just came off. But but it was just like, I was straight laced. I'm, until some people recognized me, like Agent 47. I'm like, but when I was Spidey, anybody else who was dressed up as Spidey, they were just like, "Yo, what's up, Spidey? What's up, Spidey?" And we gave daps, like, bop, everybody like that. What's good, Spidey? Boom. What's good? What's good, Miguel? Just hit up everybody. And the funniest thing is, like, every time I wanted to take a picture with my fellow Spider-Man, they just took off. So it was kind of funny. That's why you guys didn't see any pictures of me with other Spider-Men, because I would have loved to do that too. But yeah, it's only my second time, but I do want to cosplay again. I want to cosplay as Blade again. I cosplayed as Blade back in the day before people really knew who Blade was, but 95, that small convention me and Gerard went to. But yeah, I definitely, but I do like getting into costume, like putting the mask on. That felt so cool to put that mask on, and I really felt like Spider-Man, like, boom, popping that mask on. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was costume was loose. It worked. Nothing like Like I did a pose, nothing like I was scared. Like I wasn't scared. Like if I did got in the pose, like oh shit, like and trust me, I mean I outside of that costume, I wasn't wearing I was just in my drawers, so I didn't wear anything else underneath that. Like I was like oh shit, if I rip this rips, I'm in my underwear. Like that's it. You know, all I had was 2 pairs of socks on, a tank top, and some underwear. And the socks was just so I can walk around. Like next time I'll probably if I get another Spider-Man costume, which I will, I'll get it padded with like the sneaker like sole at the bottom, so it'd be okay. But yeah, man, it was like I was half naked underneath that costume because basically I listened to what the people who made the costume said, like, don't wear heavy things underneath this, you'll burn up. And but luckily the first day it was really murky. It was raining like the first day of the convention. That was the first convention I've been to, New York Comic Con, and it was raining. Like it was, I'm like, whoa. But I wasn't dressed up that day. So then the next day it was a little cool. So I was like, oh shit. Like, so I had a hoodie on before that. And so when I'm in the subway, people could see I had the gloves on, but they couldn't see like me. I didn't put on the mask. I was gonna walk around the subway in the Spider-Man costume, like just to see what kind of rise I would have got from people. Like, yeah, like the game. I would have been like on the subway, like, and if somebody asked, "Oh, Spidey, why are you on the train?" I'm like, "Yeah, I ran out of web fluid," something like that. Cosplay as a slasher. You know, I it's nothing against that, but it's like the only slasher I'd probably do is Michael Myers. But you know, I put on his mask before, and I don't know how people seeing that thing. That thing is so big.
My thing with Michael Myers is him and Jason. I think it definitely works
for big guys.
With you being tall.
Yeah, big guys. Like
I'm not really going like you have to be certain size.
No,
but I'm like
cosplay,
it really works.
Yeah, like Ivy Doom Kitty said it best. Cosplaying, you could be no matter what size you are, you could do it. And she's a big believer in that because, she's not your standard cosplayer. Like small, she's very curvaceous. She has a lot of curves, lovely curves. Don't get me wrong, but she's about that. But for me, being like somebody like Jason or I find that when I see cosplayers as those characters, they're tall guys, and it works for them better. Like.
So you made best being Ghostface.
Ghostface. Or maybe Freddy, or I'll just come up with my own character. Like that's the other thing I do also is coming up, having a lot of my own characters come to life. And like I already had ideas for like having a character, like for example, there's a character that I'm starting to work on design, like the items I would need for it. We all know Cowboy Bebop, right? And I saw couple of Spikes and Faye Valentine's there. Well, there's what if there were more characters that we didn't see in that universe? And instead of bounty hunters, which what they were, what if we had private eyes and stuff like that? So I've started to kind of come up with a character based in the Cowboy Bebop universe that is the galaxy's best private eye. And the way he's dressed is a lot different than your standard private eye. Like the way I have him is long black trench coat, lion-like shirt, like a shirt with a lion on it, tattoos. Like he doesn't look like your standard. Like he has an eye patch, one eye patch. He has dreads, so I need to get a dreadlock wig to make it work. And he has a custom-made gun. I've seen the gun I actually want. They would have to make it, but yeah, there's even a character. And like I'm a big Bleach fan, and I've also was coming up with ideas of playing character Shikigami captain, but from an alternate version of alternate world in the Bleach universe. Like I started creating it. So I want to create, like, besides characters I love, but just create my own version of characters. And that's what cosplay is all about too. Just, create your own version. I've seen many people just have their own version of these characters. Like, for example, at New York at this Comic Con, there was a guy dressed up as Prince Vegeta. Now, what does that? Now you hear me say Prince Vegeta. You think, oh, just Vegeta. Wrong. He had Vegeta's outfit, but he was Prince. And I turned around. I was like, oh, that is so dope. And I said Prince Vegeta. He was like, yep, looked like Prince, but had the Saiyajin armor and everything, purple and white with the Prince sign. Everything. It was so creative. It was cool. Like I said, the guy dressed up as the Brooklyn Defender. At first, I saw this and I'm like, who is he supposed to be? I just said it. And who are you, sir? And I'm the Brooklyn Defender. And I'm like, okay. But it was so cool because his utility belt had like beer all around. I was like, I was cracking up. Like, it's on the footage I have. Like, it's so funny, but it was so cool. It was funny. Will you cosplay as Blade? I just talked about that. I would love to cosplay as Blade again. If you're going to Tidewater, I'm willing to coordinate a cosplay. Just need to know in advance to build the cosplay. I will be there. That's the one. That's in Virginia. Besides, I want to meet my friend Jeremy there because he said if I go, he'll come. And I want to meet Manos, things like that. But that's like I said, that's only for 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday and Saturday, but it's in May. So, but I always like to plan these things. Like, okay, like get ahead of it, and okay, if I go on a certain day, how long I'm gonna stay there, things like that. I've already started looking at Expedia and looking at the hotels in that area near that convention center, like, and I'm like, okay, these are nice hotels. That's the one thing I did when I went to MegaCon. I was looking for a hotel. I was like almost right next to the Orange County Center, like where I didn't have to walk too far or anything like that. One thing I needed was places where I can eat and where the convention is. And there were a lot of places around there I could eat, and it was fine. It was fun. I'd love to go back to Orlando though again. Definitely. Yeah. Awesome Con. Same for Dragon Con next year. I don't know if I'll go Dragon Con next year. Nice. That's on my bucket list, is to get to there someday. Awesome Con is getting better in DC. Yeah, I definitely want to try that for a day. Just go to DC. Like I said before, like, I'm definitely, you want to go to conventions that are like a bus ride away. I could just hop on a Greyhound and I'm there. For all you guys that don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always try to keep it real with you. I don't drive. Do I want to? Yeah, but I live in New York. I get around just fine without transportation like that, like a car. I don't drive. So bus or things like that is fine. And there's more personal reasons of why I don't drive. There's more to it. So, dude, you pulled off 47 like a boss. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I had a black suit. I was like, let me just shave my head. Just shaved it off, and I thought I did good. But I think people would have recognized me more if I had that tattoo in the back of my head. I had it, and I put it on. They said you got to put it on before, overnight, so it could get like kind of embedded in the skin. And I did that, and when I looked, and fell off. But it was cheap. It wasn't that expensive. What would you say if you see someone cosplaying as Thor Lebowski? There were a lot of fat Thors at this year's. That was probably one of the biggest. That was probably one of the biggest cosplayers that was going around besides Spider-Man and people like that. Thor Lebowski, like just fat Thor or down on his luck Thor. There was just a bunch of them all around. Could not stop running into one of them. In that, because that's another easy. Just get a fake beard, get a fat suit, get a that same design of the robe, getting some slacks, and just walk around like them sunglasses. That's it. Have you ever tried Winter Spice Cranberry Sprite? Winter Spice Cranberry Sprite. I've had vanilla. I've had vanilla Sprite. I've had cherry Sprite, cranberry Sprite, but I've never had that one. It's good. Well, I'm trying to cut down on drinking soda as much and I think that was contributing a lot to these like headaches I was having, like just serious like headaches, like and making my stomach like really kind of. So I stopped kind of cutting down on it. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to sometimes cut down on it. And I'm getting to the age now where, my body doesn't like dilute things as quickly as they used to. So I got to be careful. I try to be careful with my intake of like soda and stuff now. And drink more water. Yeah, drink more water, guys. Trust me, it will work. It helps. But of course, I do drink. But I try to first of all, I don't drink a lot of black soda. Our father does, which we try to tell him stop. I don't drink energy drinks. So Red Bull, no. Monster, hell no. I don't drink any of them things. Like when I've done 5 hour once or twice. That was one time when I was working. I worked a triple one time at my job. I worked a triple. I shouldn't have did it, but I did it, and I was up nearly. I was basically wasn't even. I didn't even get a lot of sleep, so I'm basically up 72 hours. Like it was like, and I needed it, so I drunk it, and I'm like, okay, it works. And it didn't have a crash. But all them things like Red Bull and all that stuff, they will crash real quick. How do you feel about the Marvel comics dealing with future stuff in the comics? And do you feel that we will get a different Spider-Man 2099? Don't think so. Miguel O'Hare is always Spider-Man 2099. When you say Spider-Man 2099, you're saying Miguel O'Hare. No. I like doing future stories. Like I like that stuff. Like King Thor, we were seeing old Thor as a king with his granddaughters. Like it's like, yo, Thor's got granddaughters. There 3 of them. They're triplets. Cool.
It's fine because Chris Hemsworth has 3 kids.
Yeah, Chris. I used to drink extra strength 5 hour. Yeah, Jay stopped that. What is when I was in high school? Oh, jeez, man. Thank you, bro, for all that lives you do. Yeah, well, I would stay up all night gaming, drinking it in the tie of the morning. Yeah, see, now I ain't doing that. Like, I would never game, just constantly game and drink energy drink. Like, I've seen that stuff on like. Who did that? It was a movie or something. It was just up. No, it was a movie. It was a movie. It had Anthony Mackie in it too. Oh, I forgot the name of the movie, but it had Anthony Mackie. It was a Spike Lee movie where he was getting all these women pregnant, had Kerry Washington in it and all these, and he had like 16 kids with like so many different women. And to try to keep it up, he was just taking Viagra and drinking Red Bull and everything. And every time they would show, his sperm would like just be looking really different. At first, they were all like happy, yeah. Then they're like, remember that? Remember that, right? Yeah, it was weird, right? It was a good movie, though. I ain't gonna lie, but he had one of them. He met Monica Bellucci. Oh my God, she is so pretty. Yeah, man, like she's aged so well, and she was, and he was like really nervous about it. He was like, I don't know about doing this with you, and she was like, why? She's like, I'm Italian, but we're not all in the mob, and then you get to see her dad, which is played by the great John Turturro, and he wasn't a mob, but he kind of acted like it. Was so funny. It was a good movie. But yeah, she hates me. Thank you, Travis. Thank you. She hates me. Thank you. There you go. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, it was a good stuff. Well, we're gonna end it here, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody who came out again and chilled with me and asked some questions and listened to me tell my story about this year's New York Comic Con. I will be back again, not next Sunday, the following Sunday, the 27th, for the final live Q&A for October and things like that. But I hope you guys have a good week as well. Check out some of the videos I put up. I put up a few new reactions on Marvin and Kid 2 channel. So there's some new reactions up there. I was looking at some crazy stuff over there. Like I reacted to these crazy interviews from these psycho killers, and these people were crazy. Watched some people get attacked by animals. It's crazy. I also put up a vid about the next installment for Assassin's Creed comics. The next Assassin's Creed comic is going to take place in Vietnam, which is actually really cool because you would think that the assassins and the assassins and the oh my God, what the fuck?
With a T.
And the Templars would be in. Thank you. And the Assassins and the Templars would be in that war. So yeah, and the cover has a Full Metal Jacket like vibe. It's really cool. I actually talk about it. But yeah, man. Thank you for watching. As always, my pack, your alpha bids you peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real as always. We'll see you guys next time. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.